My son got 2 lineal belts, man.
Who did you lose
to? He ain't in the
to?
pound for pound list, man.
Yo,
this is
senior,
bullshit.
Senior, who did you lose to?
Bullshit.
Who did you lose to?
Been babied
you was
on
in the
your
corner that
life.
night. You was in the corner that night.
On your life.
Okay, now watch this.
Man,
watch January 31st.
Pound for pound list, man.
After the fight, I want you to talk everything you've been talking since I've been baby.
Man, I can't wait.
I'm gonna show you.
Man, I wish it was tomorrow, man. I wish it was today, man.
Man, we could. I'm ready right now.
Shut you down.
I'm ready at any given time.
Going to fight in the future, so I didn't really understand what was the issue with me sizing him up during that time. But it never was.
This was the exact second the entire atmosphere detonated. Teofimo Lopez didn't just step over the line. He completely erased it. That slap was the spark that ignited instant, raw hostility. Shakur Stevenson's explosive anger was the only natural response because no elite champion remains passive during a physical assault. Teofimo turned a war of words into a physical confrontation first. Shakur's reaction was pure fire, proving to the world he is a warrior who refuses to be bullied or disrespected. Frank Warren is essentially sounding the alarm for professionalism, arguing that high-stakes face-offs shouldn't descend into chaotic street brawls. He believes fighters must save that violent energy for the actual ring. But the harsh reality is this: when respect is violated, logic disappears and raw emotions take the steering wheel. Shakur Stevenson responded exactly how any real fighter would. Teofimo Lopez choosing to get physical only reveals who actually lost their mental grip and control first.
They've had a push and a shove.
Well, this is not a gang fight. You know, the only two have been fighting are the boxers and save it for the night. They don't get paid. They don't get paid to fight before the fight. Stupid.
Eddie Hearn breaks this down with the surgical precision of a fight promoter. He explains that once personal boundaries are crossed, an aggressive reaction becomes completely unavoidable. That explains the intensity of Shakur Stevenson's rage without needing to make excuses for the chaos. Teofimo Lopez pushed the envelope beyond verbal trash talk first. Once the encounter turned physical, a violent response was the only outcome left on the table for a fighter of Shakur's caliber.
When someone pushes your buttons, when someone shoves you like that, when someone starts talking about your mum, no man, look, I'm a complete pussy, right? If you start talking about my mum and all this other stuff, I'm going to have a pop at you. I can't fight it, but I don't care, I'll have a right go. And you're talking about the world heavyweight champion. If you start talking to him like that, if you shove him like that.
The Wade concept suggests that while this shouldn't happen, it is certainly nothing new in the brutal world of combat sports. He points out that boxing history has witnessed far more volatile and dangerous moments than this. That puts this specific face-off into a much wider perspective. The key difference here is the instigator. Teofimo Lopez consciously chose to make this a physical fight. Shakur Stevenson reacting doesn't make him the villain. It shows he is not weak and won't be pushed around.
Over the line, you shouldn't be doing it. They shouldn't be putting hands on each other. But it is the fight game, and we've seen far worse. We've seen guys get in fights. We've seen people throw dollies in this game, in the combat.
Sanchez is clearly outlining the cold, hard reality of the ring. He believes Shakur Stevenson wins this fight easily if he dictates the distance and the pace. That is Shakur's kingdom. The fact that Teofimo Lopez felt the need to physically attack tells you everything about his mindset. He knows he cannot outbox Shakur in a pure technical match. That internal pressure explains the visible frustration we saw. When a fighter realizes they must force a miracle, their emotions spill over before the bell.
Shakur's a great talent, and Teofimo looked great in his last fight. Of course, he didn't have Shakur in front of him. But I think that for Shakur, he has to keep the fight at his distance. If he does that, I think it's a win for him. Teofimo, he's more, he wants to draw you and he wants to counterpunch. He's going to have to be a different guy this time. He's going to have to attack. He's going to have to be leading the fight.
Timothy Bradley Jr. is issuing a stern warning to anyone underestimating Teofimo Lopez's raw physical gifts. He is highlighting that explosive speed and elite athleticism. That is a fair assessment. However, championship boxing is not just about being an athlete. Shakur Stevenson dismantles opponents with surgical timing, psychological control, and a genius-level IQ. Those are the specific skills that frustrate aggressive fighters the most. When speed alone fails to find a target, mental panic starts to set in.
The real. It's not going to be an easy damn fight for Shakur Stevenson. Nope, it ain't going to be an easy fight. Nope. After studying freaking Lopez yesterday, Man, look, that athleticism that he got, that's...
Johnny Nelson is focusing his lens on the timing and the professional responsibility of the athletes. He argues that this kind of reckless action creates legitimate danger for officials and bystanders. That criticism is aimed squarely at the act itself. Again, it was Teofimo Lopez who manufactured this volatile situation. Shakur Stevenson didn't walk into that room looking for a fight. These moments can bleed into the fight mentally. Fighters who lose their discipline early usually struggle to stay calm under the lights.
This morning, man, to make the way how he's done it, you know, on the morning of a fight, it's just wrong. It's dangerous, and the board are now in a situation where they think shit. So I don't know how they're going to deal with it.
Simon Jordan is making it clear that he has seen far worse and isn't personally offended by the theatrical violence. That might be true historically, but the modern context matters immensely. This wasn't just promotional hype building for the cameras. This was genuine frustration imploding. Shakur Stevenson, staying composed and firm after being disrespected, says everything about his elite mentality. Teofimo Lopez crossing that line suggests he is already feeling the crushing weight of the pressure Shakur brings.
An egg on his face. I mean, how many times have we seen boxers do things that they shouldn't do? You know, we saw Derek Chisora spit on Vitaly Klitschko.
We didn't need that.
I'm not offended by it.
Adam Smith notes that while this behavior shouldn't be encouraged, it is the chaotic nature of boxing and has added massive fuel to the event. That is true from a marketing angle, but championships aren't won during press conferences. Shakur Stevenson thrives when the stakes and the pressure rise to the ceiling. This kind of emotional chaos never benefits someone who relies on raw nerves. It benefits the fighter who stays sharp and calculated. Teofimo grabbed the headlines, but Shakur is focused on the win.
Twice as big for the casual fans. Do we condone it? I mean, in boxing terms, should that happen at a head-to-head? Of course not, but these things do happen. This is the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what happens next.
Dave Caldwell is stressing the point that once hands are laid on a man, the entire tone of the fight shifts. This is no longer about verbal hype or selling tickets. This is personal. Teofimo Lopez escalated the situation to a point of no return. Shakur Stevenson reacting after being struck doesn't make him reckless. It makes him real. Respect is the ultimate currency in this sport. Fighters who cross that line early usually do it because their words and confidence are no longer enough to hide their fear.
In that, because that's a little bit naughty. Because I know it's all, you know, fun and games at press conferences, but when you lay your hands on another man's face, whether there's an egg in it or not, you've laid your hands on his face, and that takes.
Eddie Hearn compares this moment to other high-pressure historic fights, explaining how even the most composed champions can unravel when their respect is tested. That comparison is vital. It shows how rare it is to maintain total silence in heated moments. Shakur Stevenson showed incredible restraint even after being slapped. That speaks volumes about his character. Teofimo Lopez forcing this level of emotion instead of trusting his boxing skills hints at a deep insecurity about the actual matchup.
The push was, we've seen worse, you know what I mean? But lively, and what followed actually was one of the few times that I've seen Anthony Joshua unravel, if you like, because normally he's very composed, but you can't be composed when a man's talking to you like that.
The Wade concept repeats the idea that while a line was crossed, this isn't unprecedented in the history of the sport. History certainly supports that view. However, the specific context here is what matters most. This wasn't a case of mutual chaos. One man escalated the violence. Shakur Stevenson did not go searching for this moment. He merely responded to it. That distinction is crucial for the fans. Fighters comfortable in their skill rarely need drama. Shakur looks focused on his legacy.
Fighters on stage their face off? Of course not. Yes, it's over the line. You shouldn't be doing it. They shouldn't be putting hands on each other. But it is the fight game, and we've seen far worse. We've seen guys get in fights. We've seen people throw dollies in this game, in the combat sports world.
Ben Whitaker is praising Teofimo Lopez's incredible athleticism, but ultimately siding with Shakur Stevenson because of his superior boxing fundamentals. That sums up the entire rivalry perfectly. Raw athleticism begins to fade the moment the fight slows down into a chess match. Shakur controls the rhythm, the distance, and the decision-making process. That is why so many elite fighters struggle to touch him. The face-off incident was a desperate attempt to break that calm, but Shakur's control usually decides the fight.
Teofimo, he's
He's funny, he's got character, but he's a great fighter. He's very athletic. He comes from awkward angles, and I do like his style, but I study boxing, I watch boxing, and I do like Shakur's style. The way he breaks his opponents down, he slows it down to his pace, he's got good distance. If you gotta pick someone, I'm going Shakur.
This intense exchange perfectly highlights the massive tension and contrasting confidence of both world-class fighters. Shakur Stevenson remains calm but incredibly firm, signaling that no amount of swagger or aggressive antics will rattle his cage. Teofimo Lopez is clearly trying to assert dominance through intimidation and physical force. But Shakur's words prove he sees the entire game clearly. He respects the styles but understands the adaptation. Shakur's mental strength is evident here. He doesn't need to scream to be the most dangerous man.
Come fight night, we'll figure out whether he's better than Zepeda or more of a challenge than Zepeda. I know Zepeda's style.
Hold don't try me.
Nah, I'm just saying, bro, like, you ain't fight a fighter with that kind of style yet to know, like, whether he's, that's all I'm saying.
Don't try me.
You bring a different style.
Eddie Hearn nails exactly why Shakur Stevenson is such a special talent in this generation. He isn't just naturally gifted. He is obsessed with technical perfection and relentless in his preparation. That combination of hunger and discipline is what truly scares opponents like Teofimo Lopez. While Teofimo relies on his natural explosiveness, Shakur builds every single punch and movement in the gym months in advance. His dedication to the craft shows in his eyes. Teofimo's aggression only highlights Shakur's superior mental fortitude and professional focus.
Shakur's brilliant at that because, one, he wants top sparring, but two, he gives his time as well because he's a gym rat, he's a boxing lunatic.
This final showdown between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez is far more than a boxing match. It is a battle of psychological wills. Shakur has proven throughout his undefeated career that he is technically brilliant and mentally unbreakable. The face-off revealed Teofimo's deep-seated frustration, but it also highlighted Shakur's composure under fire. On fight night, it will be about who can impose their tactical game plan. If Shakur wins, he proves why he is the smartest fighter in the game today. He is ready to dismantle anyone who underestimates his heart.